Thank you.
That's all we've got, which is fine. It's about lunchtime.
All right, it's 12:02. I want to say thanks to everybody again for their respectful questions and trying to get the information out. We are continuing to remain as transparent as we possibly can through our process. We will continue to follow the law. And as I said nearly every day, this is all about process. And to continue a joke I'd said earlier, for any Mandalorian fans out there, this is the way. So thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you all at 4 o'clock. Bye.
Welcome, everyone, here to News Now from Fox. I'm your host, Mike Page, as we are just listening to that Georgia update there. As the audit continues, they are expecting the hand count recount to be done by the end of this evening, by midnight tonight there in Georgia. But let's show you what President Trump has been tweeting about Georgia, as Georgia is still on his mind there. Definitely. He says the Georgia recount is a joke and is being done under protest. Even though thousands of fraudulent votes have been found, the real number is in matching signatures. The governor must open up the unconstitutional consent decree and call in the legislature. That was from President Trump earlier this morning. And we also have some other Georgia news that we want to get to right here on News Now from Fox, as Georgia is investigating vote counting delayed by flooding in a Democratic county. The Georgia Secretary of State's office just yesterday announced that it's investigating the flooding and delayed vote counting on Election Day in a Democratic county that includes Atlanta, in an incident in which Republican poll watchers left after being told counting was done for the night, but it later continued. Gabe Sterling, who we just saw, vote system implementation manager for the state, said an independent monitor found that, quote, was generally bad management in Fulton County's handling of absentee ballots. The county could be fined $50,000 for violations, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Gabe Sterling saying, our main thing is we want to make sure that they run elections properly. Election officials there in Fulton County say that a pipe burst in a room of the State Farm Arena where absentee ballots were being held, and then later said it was a leaky toilet. Fulton Elections head Richard Barron earlier said it, quote, looked really like there was rain coming out of the ceiling and the entire carpeting was just covered in water. He said on Tuesday that the county welcomes anything that they want to look at. He claimed the announcement of the investigations was an effort to deflect criticism away from the Secretary of State's office, according to the Journal-Constitution. The investigations come as the state is finishing a statewide recount to a close presidential election, with President-elect Joe Biden leading President Trump by a little under 13,000 votes. Republican poll watchers left the State Farm Arena around 10:30 on election night after officials said the counting wouldn't stop. Barron said that he sent most poll workers home, including those whose fatigue made them counterproductive, but a few remained and continued counting until around 1 a.m., even though the Republican poll watchers had left. Republicans were allowed to review tape of what occurred while they were gone. There was an independent monitor watching the count, and Republicans witnessed the recount over the weekend, the Journal-Constitution reported. Democratic officials in Fulton have frequently butted heads with Republican state officials over elections, but the infighting was exacerbated by the June primary, which was marred by long lines and undeliverable ballots there. So that is just some of the updates that we were seeing coming out of Georgia, as we continue to always roll on right here on News Now from Fox. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Now I want to turn everyone's attention out to Michigan, because there was a fiasco going on in Michigan as